package in the mail, MSX games from Japan. Collecting without fail those shoot 'em ups, and that's the plan. He doesn't just collect them, he also codes them too. Join us and we'll go on electric adventures with you.
Hey YouTube, Electric Adventures here with my monthly update for January 2023. I'm starting behind the camera this time because I've actually had some time in my game room and have started moving things around. There is still a massive pile of stuff here that needs to move, but I have moved some things around so that I have the 3D printer over there. I've only moved it there, I haven't actually plugged it in and got it level and everything like that. I have the big Trinitron monitor there, because this is going to be my retro computer area, and I've got like an unboxing table. I've got all the mini arcades and things, and some spots to put my books and other books that I'm reading that have run out of room around the rest of the room. Tidy up this whole area. We have the Helifire cocktail cabinet, obviously all working. And we have the Helifire PCB all the way from Alex of Arcade Archive over in the UK. I now have the loom and sticker set. Now I just need a little bit more time to start putting this together, and then we can get that project going nicely. So I've cleaned up this corner. We have retired the Star Trek starships over here because I just needed a bit more room for the 1/6 arcades from Replicade. There is a little spoiler in this of a video that will come out after this one, but that's my lineup at the moment. It won't be changing for any time soon because that's all of the release ones bar Street Fighter, and they haven't announced any new titles yet, and we'll see how we go. But very pleased with those. They're all working and all very playable. This area still needs a little bit more of a tidy up. I've just I've turned on the backwards compatible PlayStation 3 to charge the controller up, and I was going to play some PS2 shoot 'em ups and just give that a try, make sure it still works and everything like that. And then there's my general recording area and couch. We have another one of my projects, which is the original Tato Space Invaders. Screenworks, Boardworks. I was trying to get the original power supply working, but I believe I'm going to forego that and go back to a modern, or change it over to a modern power supply, because I'd really like this up and running, and that's all it needs, and obviously a little bit of a cleanup. There's the arcade 1-up Mars Attacks pinball. I play that all the time. I still do not have my vertical cab working. Funnily enough, I've gone through and I have ordered all my monitor chassis and tubes, and surprisingly just about all of them are the same type, which is good. So I'm going to work out what caps and start replacing. They are all pretty much 12-pin monitors though, so it is a lot harder to get replacement chassis for them, but I'm going to there's a place in Western Australia who will, if you measure your yoke and tell them the number of pins, they will design a new chassis for that. Well, I might give that a go on one of them, and I think it would be good to do it for this one, because I mean at the moment I've got Fireshark in there and I can't play it. This is my custom cab, which has a MVS one-slot board in it with currently playing Androdunus. We have Berserk, which I still haven't got running. Round here we have my Tutankhamun Vertical. Brightness has completely gone on that one, so that one's off at the moment. We have the Ugly Cab. Already had a TV tube put in there with a funny cut harness, so it is a nice big monitor. So once again I have to get a chassis with this. All these things cost money and time, so Choplifter working fine, has the lovely marquee my friend found for me, so that's looking a lot more complete. I'd love to restore the coin door at some stage. We have my Nintendo Firebird cabinet, which I had my Bosconi in. Bosconi's got a RAM error, so I've just got the horizontal 17-in-1 in there. There's a few good games on that. My checkered flag is working perfectly. Messy corner. Time Pilot still works fine. I mean, it's a Space Pilot board, not Time Pilot, but it's pretty much the same game. Things for trade there piled up. My Williams multi works and everything like that. It is a little dim. That's basically as high as it will go, so at some stage I need to recap that one. And my other long-term project underneath all this MSX stuff here is the Sega Galaxian. So, and here is my general retro play area with a normal PC. So that's the computer recording side of the room, and there's a little bit of a sneak peek at the MSX collection, which now fills this whole section here, and spills over a little bit into the Coleco section there. This is why I've moved the mini arcade as well. I just needed more room for the Coleco collection, and it allowed a little bit of spillover for the MSX. Middle table, which is eventually going. I'm going to get rid of the pool table. I don't use it, and it just ends up doing this and having stuff chucked on it. That's no good. So I am going to, a friend of mine wants this, so I'm basically giving it to him. Underneath that table for all this time has been a Coleco Adam, which I have never tried firing up. That's my Frogger board that works. There's the Bosconian board there. It's just got a RAM error. I've just got to find which RAM chip it is and replace it. A friend of mine lent me a Mega CD 32 unit with some games, so I need to try that out and do a video. Alright, let's swing round to me sitting down. Right, back sitting down. I don't have that many pickups this month, because obviously last video was a little late, and that included Christmas and Boxing Day pickups, and you know, try not to spend too much money during January. But I did get finally a Nintendo Switch for Christmas. I showed that in my last video. Been playing some other games, and I knew I had to get like a role-playing game that I'd really like, so I got Planescape Torment Icewind Dale. And it's Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition, Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition. I've only really had a quick go at Icewind Dale so far. I'm just trying to get used to the controls. You need to remember quite a few controls for this game, because last time I played it was on PC. But I'm actually, those sort of you know, party you know, turn-based ones are actually my cup of tea, or they used to be, so I'm hoping to get a bit more time on that. So I've been taking that down to my holiday home, the Switch, and playing it on occasion, so I've been getting lots of fun out of that. But as I said, I only really just started that game. Now, I got another delivery from the Fusion Retro Books. Well, for a start, they sent a nice Christmas card. So, just Merry Christmas. That was really good. And this is the annual, I showed a whole bunch of annuals last time, but this is the most current one, so it's Fusion Annual 2022. And there, you know, all sorts of interesting stuff in these. These are quite well put together. I haven't started reading that one. I'm still actually working my way through the ones that came last time, because there were so many. Unfortunately, you know, Oliver Frey passed away late last year. Wonderful artist. Absolutely, yeah. See, even the cat liked him as well. All of his I remember him most for his covers on, you know, like Zap 64 and you know, all of the magazine covers and game covers, especially. And this is the Fantasy Art of Oliver Frey Extended Edition. So they've republished the book with enhancements, and it's really well done. I've already read this all the way through. It's got, you know, basically tells Oliver's story, and it's got wonderful renditions of his art and the story behind a lot of them, well, story behind most of them. And it's a really, really good book, so highly recommended if you're a fan of his art. and he really did some outstanding work. Right, so that's really all of the pickups. I'll just check my list to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. So do that all the time. Now I do have, I've been starting to clean this place up, so I've actually found quite a few doubles. So I'll probably do a specific video on these, but I've found quite a few MSX doubles, but I do have doubles for other systems. So I might have to split them up by system, like there's heaps of MSX titles, because obviously I collect MSX quite a lot. I've done quite a few box upgrades. And bought a couple of bundles, so we've ended up with a few doubles, so it's about time to spring clean, even though it's in the middle of summer. So that'll be coming up soon. Also, I have started a new book. I think I might have vaguely mentioned this last month, but it's with a proper publisher, which is Manning. They're called Manning, and it will be programming games for the NES. We're working on the first 5 chapters at the moment. They're all at just about up to final draft stage, and I'm aiming for the completed book in August, September. Now there's 2 really good reasons for choosing a proper publisher. Well, the first reason is I've published my previous 2 books myself. They've been well received and everything like that, but I enjoy writing, and I've written magazine articles and things like that. But it's really nice to work with a publisher who spends a lot of time proofreading and giving you suggestions on how to structure things so it's suitable for a wider audience. And especially when you're talking about a subject of programming for the NES, there's a lot of underlying knowledge and technology you need to get across, but in a way that other people understand it. So it's good having that, being part of that process. And the other part of it is they have deadlines, so it pretty much forces you to work your way through it and get it done, which is good for me because I have far too many hobbies and I tend to get distracted, if people haven't noticed. So yeah, aiming for August or September release. If I can get it finished in time, I'd really like to go to the one of the conventions in the US to launch it. Now, as part of this, I actually wrote a NES tile editor for my own work on NES titles such as Sydney Hunter and Media Swarm, but I've never released it, so I'm tidying that up and I'm going to release it just like I had my MSX and Coleco Sprite and Tile editor. There'll be an initial version first, which will be released just for Windows like the MSX and Coleco Sprite editor, but I'm going to actually rewrite the tool using a new cross-platform library. And the same goes for the MSX and Coleco Sprite and Tile editor. I'm going to rewrite that using the same tool set. So I hope everybody will appreciate those works when they come out. And rewriting it, the original version of those were written a little while ago. Screens were a little smaller, so it didn't take into account resizing and really large displays. So with the new framework, I'll be able to do that. Just obviously, there's a bit of work. It's still based on .NET, the framework, so it'll allow me to reuse most of the code, but it will run on multiple platforms. So at very least it'll run on Windows and Mac OS X, and it should run on Linux as well, because there is supposedly a target for that one as well, but we'll investigate as we go. I'm quite happy I can test all 3 of those platforms myself. So really that's all I have for this month. We're back to a more normal schedule with our family now. I'm down to only one daughter living at home, so I'm finding I have a bit more time, which is fantastic, so I can spend a bit more time in this game room. I have lots of arcade fixes I need to do and restorations to do, so that'll be what I'll be focusing on electronics wise. But I have set up that new bench space that I showed you earlier for a very important reason. I've got a large retro computer collection that I haven't had out for a while, and it is really good to get them out and make sure they still work and fix anything. And I was thinking of doing a series of my retro computer history or something like that, or I'll go through each of the computers that I owned, and each one will be a 2-parter. First one will look at the system as I saw it back in the day and what I had, and then the second part will be my current collection for that system. And the very first one of those will be a machine from Texas Instruments, because that was my very first computer. But I'm going to spend a bit of time on producing these and capturing it or editing it, so hopefully I'll get the first one of those out in the next month, and they can go on as like a regular one, say middle of each month or something like that. I also, another project to pick up, I was obviously doing videos on building your own MSX machine. I had some issues with my environment where I was building it. I believe I can get those environmental issues sorted in the next month, so I can get back to that, because I'd really like to get back to that and continue that tutorial. Alright, I hope everybody out there is enjoying their games, retro and modern. I'm Electric Adventures. Thanks to all my subscribers. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.